Welcome to Who's Up Next, a video podcast for journal junkies. I'm Sally Bell, your host, and I will be interviewing one of our favorite artists. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's see who's up next. Today I'm here with Leslie from Crescent Moon Journals. Welcome, Leslie.
Well, thank you. I'm really happy to be here, Sally.
Oh, I'm great. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to have you for sure. Tell us where you come from, what you're doing, how long you've been journaling. Give us a little bio.
Okay. Well, I'm a native Californian, and when I was about 11 or 12, I moved with my parents to Okinawa, and I lived there for 6 years, and I
Wow.
graduated from high school there,
What?
and then came back to California to continue going to school.
Uh-huh.
And
That's quite something, actually.
yeah, lived in California up until, well, I've been in Utah now for 32 years.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
So, but I've always been creative and interested in art, and I started doing calligraphy many years ago. And I used to do some freelance and supplement my income
Uh-huh.
while I was in California. And I also have sold antiques, bought and sold antiques.
Oh, that's
mostly
fun.
specializing in childhood antiques.
Oh,
And so I was a collector too first. And then
yeah, of course.
So, yeah, I really don't do much of that anymore. Once in a while, I'll find something and put it on eBay. But
Yeah.
I just, I've done, let's see, I've done some bookbinding, done some workshops in that,
Mm-hmm.
and just mixed media stuff. And about, it was almost, well, it would be 4 years, I guess, in December,
Uh-huh.
because my girlfriend gave me a junk journal for Christmas.
Oh,
And that really got me going. And
that was
so,
all it took, huh?
yeah. And I
That's great.
started, buying some junk journals, and then there'd be things I didn't like, so I'd change it. And I
Oh,
thought, well, I should be able, I've done bookbinding and stuff. I should be able to make my own. I have lots of my own papers
yeah.
and things. So I
That's
started,
great.
and
When
there was no stopping.
Oh, I know. Once you get going, that's the end of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like never going back.
Yeah.
When your friend gave you the junk journal, did you have any idea what it was? Had you
I
ever heard of junk?
did. I knew what
Okay.
it was because I'd seen somebody else with one, but this
Uh-huh.
one was a lot nicer. I forget
Yeah.
who the creator was.
Yeah.
Still doing it.
That's
But
fun.
and it's quite different from what the ones that I make now,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. So you've been journaling then for almost 4 years,
Yeah,
you're
2
saying.
and a half, I guess. Yeah.
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 Yeah, how fun. Yeah, and I assume you have a collection of ephemera and
Oh,
junky stuff and all that good stuff that goes in a journal.
oh yes. Yes. I have lots, and then I have a lot of antique ephemera.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I
That's the
use
stuff I
that.
love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in my journals. And I have a
Oh.
lot of um the old Victorian scrapbooks. I have a lot
Uh-huh.
of
Oh, wow.
cards and things from those, because if
Uh-huh.
they were falling apart, then I just took them apart the rest of the
Right.
way and took
Right.
yeah.
And do you get those at antique stores there in your area or?
I have never found one here.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
No. I'm trying to think where I've gotten them in the past. I guess in California, and then maybe eBay. I've gotten
Mm-hmm.
some on eBay that
Yeah.
turned out to be really nice. And the ones that are really fabulous that are in good shape, I don't take them apart. I just
Yeah.
stick them on the shelf and look at them.
Another junk journal on the
Yeah,
shelf.
exactly, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
great. Oh, that's fun. Do they have a lot of good antique places for ephemera and little junky things for your journal down there?
No, I don't.
No?
Well, I mean, there's some, but not really. I mean, I'm used to, because I lived in California, there were a lot of antique
Oh, yeah.
stores that had real antiques and
Yeah.
were terrific. Not so much now either, but
Yeah.
um, Utah doesn't. I have a friend who has a fabulous shop here that's
Mm-hmm.
definitely, it's very eclectic
Uh-huh.
and
Oh, that's
genuine,
nice.
real antiques,
Oh,
not just,
yeah. Right. Yeah,
and
not just the junk, the real antiques. Yeah, that's really
yeah.
fun. Those are
So
more expensive.
yeah, they are, and
Yeah.
sometimes I find stuff here,
Yeah.
but
How
for the
about
most part.
estate sales?
Yes,
Much of
I
y-
go to estate sales
Do they
and
have many there? I kind of
yeah,
wondered.
yeah,
Yeah, I kind of thought so for some reason. I don't know why.
yeah, they do. And they have, a lot of garage sales, yard
Mm-hmm.
sales. And
Yeah.
if I don't go, my husband knows what to look for.
Oh, oh,
He calls it
wow.
surface mining. So he
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
out surface mining. Sometimes I don't go.
Oh, yeah, that sounds fun. I
Yeah,
need to send Danny out on some of
there
those.
you go.
I
Yeah,
don't think that'd go over. Give him a list of what he's looking for.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, neat. Well, you have some beautiful things on your YouTube channel.
Oh,
I suggest that everyone go there and check out her journals because you do beautiful work, and um, it's very. I see a thread on a common thread through all of your journals, but each one is its own thing, and it's very pretty to watch. In fact, I was just watching your new one with the blue ribbon.
oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it looked
yeah.
like you used some of the blue seam binding too.
Mm. No,
No, that was something else.
yeah, it's that velvet ribbon I actually got from you.
Yes, yeah, for the
And
closure. But inside
yeah,
it looked like you had some of the used some of the blue seam binding.
I
No,
might have. I don't remember.
anyway, it was pretty, and how you use that ribbon was very pretty for
Yeah,
a closure. Yeah,
I mean, it didn't have to have a closure, but I felt like I wanted one, but I didn't want one that wrapped all the way around,
right.
because of the way
Yeah,
the cover is.
right,
And I didn't really want to put eyelets in and tie it like I've done many.
right,
I
right.
was trying to think of something different,
Yeah, it
and then
worked
I
out.
thought, well, a button, I could use that slide and a button,
Uh-huh.
but how am I going to attach the button so it doesn't come off? And
Well, whatever you did is working. It's pretty.
yeah, it's actually sewn on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's
So,
great.
yeah.
So, what do you what are your favorite journals to make? You do quite a variety, but um what are your favorites?
I think, well, I like vintage, the
Mhm.
vintage look, and I
Mhm.
like using old photographs a lot.
Oh yeah.
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 Um, it's hard to say what my favorite is because it just depends on what I think of to
Your mood,
do.
yeah. Do you
I love,
start
go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead. Do you start with a theme in mind and go from there, or does it
Sometimes,
sometimes evolve? Yeah.
sometimes, or I'll have a cover, maybe like an old French book cover that I'm
Right.
going to use.
Mhm.
And if it's got an illustration on the front, I kind of take it from that.
Yeah.
Um,
Your Tennyson journal, obviously.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that was gorgeous.
yeah, yeah. I was really happy with the way that came out. It was a nice
Yeah,
cover,
very pretty.
and I just really added one thing to the cover. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that was really pretty. Um, I think I was attracted to that one because of the colors.
yeah,
I loved that gold ribbon. Yeah,
yes,
that was very pretty. And
Yeah.
then the bee journal kind of got me going too.
I made that for myself.
Did you?
The book cover I used was not cheap.
Oh, I know
I
that's
thought I'll never
what we
recover
run into.
anything from this, but
Uh,
I loved it. So
yeah,
I bought the book and then proceeded to make it my own. So it was
yeah,
a lot of fun.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
the problem with going to some of those bookstores, the old bookstores. It's like, ay, 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 that's steep, you know.
Yeah.
Now,
Sometimes you can find a real bargain, and other times it just depends on if
right,
either
right,
they think it's worth more than it is, or you can,
right.
you can find something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you can get for a song. I love those.
Yeah. I know,
Yeah.
like the Bee Journal, after I made it, and I think I made the video, I found this fabulous button with a beehive on it. So I made a closure for it as well.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
it's not
Oh, that's
pictured, I
great.
don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That was really pretty.
Yeah.
Um, do you, I noticed in going through your journals that you are on the design team for the Graphics Fairy.
Yeah, I'm at the tail end. I actually have done all my journals for
Have
them.
you-
Yeah.
That's really commendable. That's exciting.
I was very excited when they accepted me because I didn't
Right.
really expect it. I tried anyway, but I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
So I
So
was
you
glad.
apply, is that the process?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they usually put out a notice in their newsletter when
Oh,
they're
okay.
looking for more people, and
Ah,
and then I think you go to the website and they tell you what they want to know,
uh-huh.
and
That's
you
fun.
choose your
Was
thing. And I would say anybody who wants to do that, who's that if you don't get accepted the first time, try again. Took me two
oh,
times,
oh,
so
interesting. How
yeah,
many people do they have at one time?
I don't know, about 12, maybe
Oh,
11.
serious. Wow. And
I could be wrong. I think
yeah.
actually we don't have that many right now,
Uh-huh.
but they're
And do you work in a group then?
no, you're just doing it individually, you have to use their graphics.
Right.
And
Right. That sounds
then,
really, really exciting to me.
yeah,
What
over
do
6 months, you have to come up with 3 journals. So it's not
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
bad.
So, and then the contract or whatever is for 6 months.
For 6 months, and then
Uh-huh.
they renewed us again for another 6 months.
Wow.
So
So they must have liked what you did.
yeah, I think they generally do that.
Yeah.
It's their practice, but
Yeah.
yeah, and some of
Yeah.
us renewed for a little longer because there was a move going on, and I think everybody was overwhelmed.
Oh.
I just stayed on for one more journal, and
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
I've
I'll
done
keep
that.
watching. Well, do they tell you, okay, we need you to work with, how they're always putting out their new little collections?
Hmm.
Do they say, okay, we need you to work with this collection, or they just give you free reign? You can use anything.
You just use what you want. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Wow. That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really fun. And
It's
how about other design teams? Are you on any
no,
other
no,
No?
it's fine. I just it's nice to be able to just do your own thing after being kind of restricted, even
Right.
though they have zillions of digitals that are
Right.
beautiful.
Right.
I just branch out to everybody, really.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. It's
yeah.
really fun. What you got planned?
I'm not sure. I've got an old French book cover that I'm thinking of using. It's just I'll show you.
You make me want to go
It's this.
haunt my old bookstore.
Yeah. So it's this, and I may use
Oh,
this, and I may change my mind and do something else. So,
yeah. Ooh,
yeah,
that's a pretty one.
yeah.
Yeah, that's very pretty. Yeah, you're
So,
creative, Leslie. I love it. I assume you're sitting in your studio. Is that correct?
yes, I am.
Yeah,
I
it's
am.
very pretty. I love the stuff on the wall, but what I've got my eye on is that book press.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
an antique.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty. And do you use it?
yeah.
Yeah,
I sure
good.
do.
Yeah, that's
It's
neat.
great for flattening out what you want
Yeah,
flattened out.
I'll bet it does a good job.
Yeah,
It looks like it's pretty heavy duty.
it is very heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you have an Etsy store, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So, do you sell a lot of your journals, or do you give them away as gifts, or do you keep them? Do you get attached?
Some I keep, some I sell. The thing is, the reason I started selling is I couldn't keep them all, and
Yeah.
you can only give so many gifts.
Right.
So,
I know.
yeah. So I decided to open the Etsy store, and
Uh-huh. And
yeah. So it's like the journal I just made. I'm up in the air. I probably will sell it. I just haven't put it on.
what
I
is it? The ladies' hats or
ladies in hats. Yeah.
ladies in hats? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you if you do digis.
No.
No, you don't do
Well,
digis.
I I don't. I will put something together to use, that from two different um, digis or
Right, right,
from something I have scanned.
right.
But I've never branched out. I don't think I know enough
Yeah.
to do it. I can use Photoshop elements, but only to
Uh-huh.
a certain point. That's a
It's
goal to try and learn that
Is
better.
it? You'd like to do that? Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
want to create them particularly, other than for myself.
right. You don't want to have like a package or that you sell on Etsy.
Yeah,
You
I
just
don't
want
have any desire to do that right now. I
Yeah.
guess it could change, but
Well,
I
what you're
doubt
going to
it.
do is you're going to use them, and then
Yeah.
people are going to say, "Where'd you get those?" And then you're going to think, I could sell those."
Maybe I should do this, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of do some things that just for me
Uh-huh.
that it's too time consuming for me to I've kind of dabbled in it a little bit, but it's pretty time consuming, and I have my mind going different directions.
I think
That's not on my radar.
it's very consuming. I mean, the time just flies by when you're trying to do it. The reason I started even doing any of it was when I was on the graphics fairy team. Sometimes there'd be a digital that I wanted just turned
Mhm.
horizontally.
Mhm.
And so yeah, that's what got me going, starting to learn a little bit, but
Yeah.
nothing too complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can mirror image that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of fun to do. But like I say, very little of it is plenty for me
Yeah.
at this point.
Hmm.
But boy, I admire those people that are out there.
Oh, I do too. There's some wonderful
Oh,
artists. Yeah.
wow, I know it. I know it.
Fabulous.
Do you use more of one designer or two or three than others? Do you have your favorites?
I like the paper cameo. Um, Chapter One.
Mm,
Um, Dorothy Jane Papery. Trying to think. Sampool. I mean, I have everlasting journals. There's so
mm.
many more than that that
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
that I use that I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
limit it. I don't limit it to just that. But
Right. Right. So
I've
you
used a
don't
lot
really
of
have a
theirs, I guess.
favorite that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Prasanna Crafts too. She's not on Etsy, but she put some gorgeous ones out.
What's her name?
Chryslana Crafts,
Oh,
I think it
interesting.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you who do you follow most? That's a
Oh, on
that's a
YouTube?
loaded question on YouTube
I
because
know, because
if
there's
your
so
subscriber
many.
list is,
Oh my
you know,
gosh, I don't even know how many there are.
yeah.
Um, let's see. I follow Sharon Hirth.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Did you watch her interview with me?
I did. I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like her.
Yeah, she's very nice.
Yeah.
Dodie from Dorothy Jane Papery.
Mhm.
Um, oh my gosh, I can't even think. A little bit French. Um,
There's so many that are so good.
Yeah,
And you think you have this list that you kind of keep your eye out, and then a new one will pop up and you go, oh, I haven't seen her.
yeah, yeah,
Click,
yeah.
you know.
Um, Heather from Ruby and Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's just so many. I can't right now.
Right, right.
It's hard for me to.
Well, you could read me a list a mile long and,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, that's great. So what are your plans for the future?
I just keep creating.
Just keep going.
Yeah. Usually I finish one, I clean up my studio, and it stays that way till I start another one,
Yeah.
which is usually within a couple of days. This has been a
Yeah.
long spell in between for me this time, but
Yeah.
just because planting the garden, doing all these other
Right.
things. Yeah,
Yeah. Life gets in the way of our journaling
it
sometimes.
does. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find yourself halfway through a journal and thinking, okay, I'm ready to be done with this one, and I've got my mind set on I'm thinking what I'm
A
doing
different
on the
one.
next one?
That's
Yeah.
happened to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
or I'll start one with one thing in mind and then I'll change it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's happened to me a couple times.
Yeah.
I find that if I start with a theme, I keep myself on track a little more. I just did one that kind of threw me for a loop, and I realized I needed a theme before I
Yeah.
started that one.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think until I was on the graphics fairy team that I actually did a specific theme,
oh yeah,
unless it was like for Christmas,
right,
a Christmas
right,
journal or
right,
Halloween.
yeah,
The very first journal I ever made was for my son's at that time girlfriend,
uh-huh.
and she loved unicorns, so
Oh,
it had a unicorn theme.
oh, cute.
But
Was it hard to find ephemera for that?
yeah, it kind of was.
I
For
kind of
what I
think it.
liked, there was some little cutesy. I didn't want the cutesy.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it was kind of hard. That maybe there's more now, but that was,
right.
yeah,
Yeah, I know what you say with cutesy, like almost little kid stuff.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into
Yeah.
cutesy.
Yeah, I don't like cutesy either. I notice you use a lot of gorgeous laces and things in yours, which I think I would. Well, I'm not going to say what I would how I would describe your journals. I'm going to have you describe them.
Oh, I don't know. They're very eclectic. I
Yeah.
do like to use lace.
Uh huh.
Some I use more than others.
Uh huh.
My mom, well, she's actually was my mother-in-law, but I call her my mom because
Uh huh.
my mom has been gone many years,
Oh.
and she was just wonderful.
Uh huh.
And she used to make clothing for antique dolls. And so
Oh.
she had all these laces
Oh.
and fabric, I mean, boxes. And at the
Oh.
time that she passed, I was not making journals. And I
Oh.
can tell you, I let go of a lot that I wish I hadn't.
Oh.
But that I kept some, the really
Yeah.
gorgeous, I kept
Yeah.
some. So that got me um, going in that direction. And
Yeah. Well, I notice you use a lot of really pretty lace, and I would say not maybe the majority, but there are some journals that I've seen on your YouTube channel that are, I would say, have a little bit of a romantic feel.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not necessarily a love story, but just
No.
that romantic, lacy. Uh,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 And I love that.
Yeah.
That gets me every time. I love the laces and everything.
Yeah. I do
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're fun. So, what would you tell someone that is just starting out in journaling?
I would say go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Watch as many, they probably would have bought some journals, kind of look those over and how they're constructed and
Mm-hmm.
things that are
That's a
used.
good
And
thought.
then watch as many YouTube channels that have tutorials and
Right,
things like that as
right,
you can. And
right.
just really go for it.
Yeah.
and see what you come up with. It's
Yeah.
very addicting.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And you can invest a lot of money, but I don't think you have to.
No, you don't have to. And you
Right.
can just find stuff around the house as far as
Right.
that goes.
And there are some tutorials out there on YouTube that show you how to distress your page that you
Mm-hmm.
print on your computer or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and show you how to make a paper look like an old document.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to buy the
The real
real
thing.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things you can do like that. That would be one of my, I see a lot on Facebook that say, "Oh my gosh, how do I get started? I can't afford all that. How do you do it cheap?"
Mhm.
And I think you can for sure.
Yeah. It's not that hard to do. And
Right.
there's plenty of, like you say, there's plenty of tutorials on
Right.
how to do
Right.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get a lot of money invested in downloading digis too.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
I keep
I
thinking
have to watch myself.
I keep thinking my computer's going to say you're full, your space is full.
Yeah.
It hasn't yet.
Buy another exterior hard drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. I know. We have to be careful.
Yeah.
I don't have a large studio, and it's bursting at the seams as we speak. So I have
Well,
to be
this
careful.
is not a big room. What is it? Maybe nine. I don't know what the measurements are, but it's not. It was a bedroom.
Uh
It's
huh.
a bedroom at one time, so it's not real big. And there's two flat files in here.
Well, that's nice. That's
That
good
was
for
from when I
papers.
was doing calligraphy and bookmaking,
Uh
and
huh.
there was an art store that went out of business here,
Oh.
and so we bought. I think one of the flat files is from them, and then this
Uh-huh.
huge long table thing that they could fit underneath.
Oh.
And so that takes up a lot of space in this small
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, but I'll bet it holds a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. We have to use our creative abilities to get as much in there as we can possibly
Oh, I
stuff.
know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anything else you'd like to tell our audience?
No, just like if you're thinking of doing a journal, a junk journal, just give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think, oh, I can't do that, because you can. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you put your mind to.
Right.
So,
Right. And develop your own style.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It will develop as you go.
Right.
Yeah.
However, how I started was I, like you said, watched some YouTube tutorials and that sort of thing and did just what they said.
Uh-huh.
And, but then eventually I started thinking, okay, I got to do my own thing. And I think I found my style.
Yeah.
You don't want to just continue to copy and copy.
Yeah.
You want to reach your own style. And I think it's amazing to me, but there are so many different styles out there. I mean, it's hard to wrap your head around,
Yeah. And there's so
you
many
know?
creators too.
Yeah. Oh, so many. And it's growing immensely.
Yeah. And it's a
Yeah.
wonderful community. Everybody is very giving and kind
Right.
and
Right.
willing to help you out. It's really a
Exactly.
wonderful community.
Yeah,
So,
and we use each other for inspiration, which I think is nice.
yeah.
I don't copy people, but
No, but you
I
might get a good idea from
yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
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 Or I want to do that particular,
Right.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
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 And that's great. That's one of the parts I like about YouTube and our journaling friends. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, Leslie, it's been fun to visit with you. Let's keep in touch. And
Yes.
of course, I'll be following all those fun journals you're making.
Oh, well, I'll be watching your show. I think
Thank you.
kudos to you. It's a great idea. I think
Well,
it's so
thank you.
fun. Yeah.
It's really fun because I get to know you, you know?
Uh-huh.
When
Yeah,
was
we
I
get
ever
to
going
know
to get to
you.
know you? Yeah, I know. It's kind of fun. So I
Yeah.
enjoy that part.
Yeah.
Well, listen, to our audience, I would like to tell you to get over there to Leslie's YouTube channel and Etsy store and check her out. I'm going to list all that information below. And Leslie, thank you very much for being here today. I really enjoyed it.
Well, thank you so very much for having me, Sally.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.